Welcome to the Volkswagen Mods and Maintenance with Kyle Steinle. This is the first episode of 7 where I'll be modifying and maintaining my 2000 Volkswagen Golf. Yes, it's the 2.0, so don't hate too bad. In this episode, I'll be going over a step-by-step process to changing oil. When you're changing oil, you need a few supplies. You'll need a jack stands, a wrench for the drain plug, 5 quarts of oil, and an oil filter. It also helps to have a pan to catch the oil and a funnel. First, we need to lift the car up off the ground so we can get access under the car. So find an appropriate spot under the side of the car near the front wheel to slide the jack under the car and jack the car up. If you look under the car, you will see a rail, which is where you put your jack stands. Place the jack stand under the rail and slowly lower the car with the jack onto the stand. After you have one jack stand in place, do the same thing on the other side of the car. Jack it up and place the stand under the other rail. Now that the car is on the stands, we can slide under the car and find the oil drain plug. If you slide under the front of the car, you'll see a big black plastic box or cover like this. This is the oil pan that holds the oil. Slide a little further under the car and look at the other side of the oil pan and you will see the drain plug. It just looks like a big bolt. Next, slide the catch pan under the drain plug so that when you unscrew the plug, the oil won't spill over the floor. Now, as much as you'll love to stay under that sexy VW, get out from underneath of her and go to the engine and locate the oil filler cap. Unscrew the cap and take it off to help the oil drain out a little better. And don't lose the cap, just set it down somewhere that you won't forget. Now get back under your baby and this time, take the wrench for the plug. Start unscrewing the plug by turning it to the left. Eventually, it will become loose enough to unscrew with your fingers. So unscrew the drain plug the rest of the way and be ready for the oil to pour out. Quickly pull the plug out and move your hand out of the way so that you don't get covered in oil, and let the car release the fluid into the catch pan. Luckily, this time I didn't get any oil on my hand. As more oil drains out, the stream will get weaker and weaker. As it does, slide the catch pan forward a little bit so that the oil doesn't miss the pan. Now just let it all run out until she starts dripping. After it comes out as a slow drip, take the drain plug and screw it back in. Next, locate the oil filter. If you come out and look down into the engine, it will be in the front of the engine. If you look from under the front of the car, you'll see it sticking down at an angle. Before you take this off, slide the oil catch pan under the filter because oil will come out and you don't want it all over the floor. Now grab the filter with your hand and begin twisting it counterclockwise. Sometimes it might take a while to get a good grip and actually loosen it up. When it is loose, quickly unscrew it before all the oil drips down over the filter and all over your hand, like what happened to me. Unfortunately, I suck at taking the filter out and I always get covered in oil. But it's okay because I like getting dirty with my VW. Pour the excess oil from the filter that didn't spill all over your hand into the catch pan, and you can dispose of the filter by putting it in a baggie and take it to a local auto repair shop that changes oil. Now that the filter is off, you can see the spindle that the filter screws onto. Next, take your new filter, preferably not a crappy Advanced Auto Parts brand filter like I bought, and pour about half a quart of new oil into the new filter. Dip your finger into the new oil and run it around the black seal on the top of the filter to help it seal when you screw it onto the spindle. Now simply take the new filter, holding it upright the whole time so you don't spill the new oil, and screw it onto the spindle clockwise. Grab it and tighten it up. Now slide the catch pan under the drain plug again and take the drain plug off because there will be a little more oil in there that needs to come out. Let the rest of the oil drain out. This is where I like to cuddle up and take a little nap with my baby until she's done draining. Now that she's done, screw the plug back in, tighten it up, and wipe up any oil you spilled on the floor. Next, we have to add the new oil to the motor, and you should add about 4.5 quarts of new oil. Since we already put a half a quart of the oil into the new filter, we put 4 quarts into the motor, and that'll be 4.5 quarts. So grab the funnel and the 4.5 quarts of oil and add the oil to the motor. After you add the new oil, take the funnel out and put the filler cap back on. Now let the oil settle for a moment or two and check the level. Find the dipstick, which isn't hard to miss because it's bright orange. Pull it out and make sure the oil is at the appropriate level. Now that the new oil is in the motor, start the car to get the new oil pumping and check under the car for any leaks. Check the plug, the filter, and on the floor. If there are no leaks, you're good to go. Shut off the car. Slide the jack back under and lift it a little so you can pull the stands out, then lower both sides of the car to the ground. Next thing to do is go out and do some driving. Well, that's it. Thanks for tuning in to episode 1. Make sure you catch next week's episode where I'll be doing a front end swap with a Volkswagen Jetta. Until then, go change your oil and don't make a mess.